Imagine that you're driving on a winding country road that follows a river. It's night. It's deeply foggy. It's dangerous. You can't see beyond the hood of your car. You can't turn on your headlights because it'll just bounce back and blind you. You're going slow and you're worried. You can't see the edge of the road where it drops off into the river, and you can't see if you're in your own lane. You can't stop because another vehicle coming up might hit you. You don't want to hit something that might be stopped in the road. You feel lost and you feel disoriented. That's how a lot of people feel when they're going through difficult times in their life. They're in a fog. They can't see the future. They can't tell where they are. And they don't know what God is doing and how this can be right. But there's one thing. We still have to trust Him. We still trust Him. Remember that childhood song? He's got the whole world in His hands. I know what it's like to be in a fog. I was in it for 4 years. I was going through menopause and it threw me for a loop. I had just all kinds of physical and mental health issues going on. My marriage was disconnected. My business was flailing. And I didn't know what to do. And I didn't know what God was doing in this situation in my life. But I knew I still had to trust Him. I couldn't feel Him. I couldn't see Him. But I had to trust Him. That's really hard. It's really, really hard. And there were a lot of days where I wanted to just give up. I wanted to just go to sleep and hope that I woke up somewhere else in another time, in another situation, and it would just all be better. But that isn't how it happened. I knew I couldn't stop moving, and I knew I had to keep trusting God. And I knew that I would never get out of the fog if I didn't keep going. So I kept going. Just some days it was, what do I do next? And trusting that still small voice inside me to make that phone call, take a nap, eat healthy food, go outside, whatever the thing was, I had to trust and do it. If you're in a fog right now, I am here to encourage you. I'm here to remind you to keep moving. Learn to rest, not quit. Trust God, listen for Him, and do the things that He says. Even just those little things. It says send somebody a text message to check in. Maybe that's all it is. God knows the way. He knows where you are, even when you don't know where you are. Spend some time every day in prayer, meditation, whatever it is for you. Me, I just talk out loud to myself all the time, so I'm not really talking to myself, I'm talking to God. It's a constant, ongoing conversation. I read the Bible a lot, read the Stoics, read encouraging things, but be very mindful of what you're feeding your brain. Feed your brain positive stuff, okay? Don't feed your brain junk food, okay? There's a lot of stories in the Bible about people who didn't know what God was doing. And some of them trusted God and did what God said, even though it didn't in the moment make sense, but then it worked out. And there are people that didn't trust God and they decided to do it their own way, and it didn't work out. It worked out disastrously. Sometimes God's plans don't make human sense because He's not human. Surround yourself with people. If you don't have a local community group, maybe it's a church, maybe it's a coffee group, maybe it's a volunteer group through your local museum, whatever. But you could also consider looking locally for a 12-step program. I went through Codependence Anonymous, I don't know, 15 years ago, more than that probably. Um, that was really helpful, and it led to some other groups that were very helpful. And recently, we've started attending Celebrate Recovery, which is for everybody, for anybody that's got a hurts, and hang-ups and habits. We all have hurts and habits and hang-ups. Trust me, we all do. So those are a really great place where you can be around people that are also working to try to make changes and make their own lives better. If you are struggling, I want you to remember you are not alone. God is with you. He does have people around you. You sometimes just have to look for them and you have to reach out to them. There were a lot of people that I was surrounded by that I reached out to, but they weren't the people that God wanted me to connect with. So those connections didn't really happen. And it was hurtful and it was confusing in the moment. But I can look back now and realize those weren't the people I was supposed to connect with. If you are struggling with menopause related issues, don't stop asking questions. If your doctor says this, ask questions. If it isn't resonating with you as truth, ask more questions. I saw a naturopathic physician who tested my hormone levels and didn't treat me based on a database full from a million other people that aren't me. She tested mine levels and gave me a treatment plan that was for me, made a world of difference. Okay? So don't just take the word of the first doctor you talk to. Ask questions. Research and read on your own. Empower yourself. Be your own advocate. If you are needing mental health care, and I'm going to tell you, I'm a huge advocate of mental health care. I actually happen to think that everybody, every person should be in at least 1 year of some kind of trauma therapy. Because if you don't, even if you don't have big T trauma in your life, most of us have stacks and stacks of little T traumas that build up, and they build our hurts and our hangups and our habits. And those influence the way that we manage difficult situations that we're in. I know healthcare is a challenge right now. I know that it's very difficult to find providers in your area. I know it's very difficult to find providers that are taking new patients. Insurance is an issue. Most insurances say they cover mental health care, but in reality, they kind of don't until you've met your massive deductible. And so it's, so I understand that, and I don't have an easy answer to that, but I do know that the more that we as consumers demand that the insurance we pay for actually covers the care that we need, eventually, maybe someday they'll get it, or we'll all just stop participating. So do that, seek care. Okay, you need to do that. And there's a lot of video, online based things available now too that really work great for a lot of people. I know the fog is difficult. I know it's heavy and it can feel lonely because you can't see the others around you. And yes, you do have to do the work yourself. Nobody can do it for you. You cannot go to the doctor and get a magic pill that you swallow that makes it all go away. It doesn't work that way. You have to do the work. You have to do the work yourself. But you don't do it alone. You have God, you have the Holy Spirit, you have people in your life, in your community, your family, your friends. Ask. Reach out to someone. Make a Facebook post. A lot of people will ignore it, but there's going to be someone who reaches out to you and says, hey, I saw your post. I see you. And I'm going to tell you right now, I see you. I'm Susie Quillen, and this is just a little word of love for you today. I hope that lifts you. I hope that encourages you. And if you'd like to see more of that, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and we'll see if we can come up with some more topics and words of encouragement for you.